of security IoT. For today, I propose to talk about blockchain, not to explain blockchain because I think it would take more than 20 minutes, but to highlight some key aspects of blockchain. What is blockchain? Regarding the picture we have on left, when we have different organizations, each organization could exchange some information with the other organization. Now, or till now, the different organizations are storing the different information internally, and each organization have its own storage. If we have a problem, we could compare the different events or data exchange inside the different party, and we try to establish the truth. It is always difficult because sometimes one party didn't want to give the different data stored or want to avoid to show some element, and it's always difficult to establish the truth. With blockchain, the idea is each time we produce or we exchange a new data, this data is shared with all the parties, and all the parties agreed on the data and store the data. After that, this data is shared for all, and it's a good way to be sure that if we have a problem, we have a unique reference of data. I have had an example with a vehicle, for example. We have different actors interacting with the vehicle during its life cycle. We have manufacturer, dealer, a leasing company. We have different actors interacting with the vehicle, and each time or during each step of the life cycle of the vehicle, we have something particular. We could add inside the blockchain the element. This element is shared and agreed by all. And at the end, if we want to investigate, for example, on a specific vehicle, we could check all the steps and all people agreed on these steps. For main element in blockchain, we have the shared ledger. The shared ledger is the repository of data where the different data are only happened, and no one can delete a part of this ledger. This ledger is shared by all the parties, and at the end, this ledger is replicated on all the nodes. Another point is permission, because we see later, but often we have public blockchain, and we have a possibility to restrict the access of blockchain for a part of the data with authentication and authorization mechanism. For me, the main concept for blockchain is a consensus. The consensus is a way to establish this unique reference and to build this truth about the data. For that, we have different ways to automatically establish this unique reference. And we have a smart contract, because at the beginning, especially with Bitcoin, we manage simple transaction, but now we are able to manage a complex transaction with different conditions, with the possibility to have different process, and it is a smart contract allowing to have different applications outside a simple financial transaction. Okay, finally, blockchain is not only a secure distributed storage. I mentioned that because during the last 4 years, I have been involved in different initiatives for blockchain, and there were a lot of ideas. But the problem is often the people want to replace an existing solution with blockchain. But it doesn't make sense to use blockchain if you have only a need of distributed storage. We need to have different organizations. We call them decentralized autonomous organization. We need to have these different organizations, not wanting to depend on the external authority. And in this case, we need to have something automatically establishing the consensus and establishing the truth. That's why it's not a simple secure distributed storage. Another point is blockchain is not a disruptive technology, but a foundational technology. What does it mean? The idea is with blockchain, we are not having a new technology on solving existing needs or addressing existing business, but we have a new technology addressing a new business. And we see after some example, it's in the large part of the use case we have new use case and not existing use case. Another point not mentioned of this slide is the open source aspect. We see that these different decentralized autonomous organizations want to establish a way to define the truth, but they need to trust each other. And for that, it's very important that the solution, the blockchain solution, was be based on open source solution. Regarding the governance, for me, the most important part of blockchain. Regarding governance, we could define governance as all action allowing a system to reach its objectives. And for that, in blockchain, we have three kinds of governance. We have network governance, fund governance, and solution governance. For network governance, the goal is to apply to perform this consensus. The consensus is how to define the node in the system who check, who validate the block inside the blockchain. And we have different consensus already existing in different blockchain solutions. The most popular is the proof of work. We have in Bitcoin, in Ethereum. And the idea is to select randomly or in an unpredictable way the miner who will check the block. And this element is the key aspect to be sure that we are not able to attack the system because we don't know who will be chosen for the validation. And we have different consensus. We have proof of work. For proof of work, the idea is to propose a challenge inside the blockchain, and each time a miner reaches this challenge, he is chosen and he performs the validation. We have another one less popular with proof of stake. In this case, the choice of the miner is based on the interest of the miner in the system. If it is a key actor in the system, we could imagine that it is not an attacker. And the last one, practical Byzantine fault tolerance. It's more popular in private blockchain. And the idea is to decide between the different nodes who will check and validate the new block. There are plenty of consensus. We are able to develop new consensus, and it is the key aspect of the blockchain. Regarding funding, it's important for blockchain and for public blockchain especially to define funding source, funding amount. You know Bitcoin, and in Bitcoin it's clear that miners received some Bitcoin. We have fees to retribute miners. Who is funds administrator? How to use this fund? And the reporting process regarding the funding activities. Another governance is for the solution or project governance. We have a solution. We have mainly an open source solution, and we have to manage when we have to change some element regarding blockchain, the parameter, changing block size or gas price, when we have bugs, when we have new version, new feature, and for the last point, when we have to give some lost coin, when we have for example, a specific attack. It is very interesting to see the parallel with open source governance because we have a community. People are interested in different things, but they need to find an agreement and to find how to perform these activities. And we have some example on different blockchain where a small part of the community want to modify the blockchain, but the most part didn't want. The small part create a new blockchain, but at the end they disappear because people doesn't want to follow them. Regarding the usage, we have three elements in the blockchain. We have public blockchain, private blockchain, and permission blockchain. Permission blockchain is essentially for public blockchain to restrict the access, and for public and private, it depends on the deployment. For public blockchain, now all people know some of them, Bitcoin, Salveum, Hyperledger. And they have been validated through Bitcoin, for example, during the last 7 years. We have a lot of implementation. All people could find a client in C++, Java, Python. For the governance, we have proof of work, but we have a problem of energy consumption due to this kind of consensus. But we have an infrastructure and we can use it directly. The main example of use are cryptocurrency with Bitcoin or SR. We have different applications for asset transfer or for logistics, supply chain, and maintenance. For private blockchain, it's more interesting for us in Thales. We reuse the implementation of public blockchain available as open source, and we deploy them inside a consortium. We didn't have the same consensus because we are inside a small coalition with people having different trust between them, and so we are not able to. We don't need to have the same mechanism, but in this case we need to deploy the infrastructure and to add all the tools for an infrastructure. For example, we have internal currency, we have logistics, supply chain, and maintenance. In conclusion, some example. We are involved in each 2020 project, Energy 5. With energy, we have gas, electricity infrastructure shared between different companies, between different countries. And the goal of the project is to establish a network infrastructure on top of them. But with blockchain, we provide an access control mechanism between the different components. And finally, for our use case for private blockchain, I was yesterday in the European Defense Agency for a workshop on blockchain. It was very interesting to have a military use case because inside the coalition, we have decentralized autonomous organization with the countries, and they didn't want to depend on external entities. And we have shared different possibilities to exchange tactical data, supply chain, different way in this case. For public blockchain, we are more interested now for logistics, and for Thales, we have a specific part in US specialized in HSM, and they are working how to enforce security for cryptocurrency. Thank you for your attention.